If you invested $10,000 in Home Depot stock in 2013, you would have $52,270 today. That is, if you invested in Home Depot stock 10 years ago, you would have earned a 422.7% return on your investment. That's an incredible return for a brick and mortar retailer. So, how did Home Depot deliver these kinds of results to investors? I'm going to look at that in this video here. And as a bonus, I'm going to answer if investors in Home Depot stock today can expect something similar for the next decade. So, is it too late to buy Home Depot stock? I'm going to answer that question too. So, let's look at the details. What I have here is a 10-year chart of Home Depot's annual revenue growth. And if you look back here, let's look at this in two phases, right? Before the outbreak and then after the outbreak. So before the outbreak, you'll notice that Home Depot was growing revenue at a little bit higher than a 6% rate. Here's the 6% line. Here's Home Depot's revenue growth. So for the most part, it was growing revenue above 6% over that time period. Initially, then, at the outbreak's onset, revenue growth slowed for Home Depot, but then it exploded as home improvement became a very popular pastime during the pandemic. People were painting their room, adding an office, adding an outdoor patio, and home improvement was extremely popular during the earlier stages of the pandemic. And now, as the economy has reopened, revenue growth has slowed back down for Home Depot down to 4%. If you're thinking about the next decade, I would say a reasonable expectation is for revenue growth of about 6% for Home Depot over the next decade. So another important factor that caused Home Depot's stock price to soar over the last decade is the profit growth. Here I have a chart of Home Depot's net income over the last decade for the trailing 12-month period. And if you look here from at 2013, this was around $5 billion. Not too shabby, right? But look at how it's grown over the next decade from 5 billion in net income, more than tripled to 17.11 billion in Home Depot's trailing 12 months. Home Depot has just done an excellent job being a merchandiser, serving its customers, right? Serving the home improvement industry. Home Depot has just done an excellent job at that. Its main competitor, Lowe's, has tried to do what Home Depot does, but throughout the last decade, Home Depot is just always better than Lowe's in most of the important metrics that you would consider, like gross profit margin, operating profit margin, sales per square foot, and the like. Home Depot is just better than Lowe's, and that just demonstrates that it's just a better company, right? Better management, better business model, better geared to serve that home improvement customer. And you could see the profits soaring and the stock price increasing as a result. So to answer the question, is it too late to buy Home Depot stock, or should investors buy Home Depot stock today and hold it for the next decade? I wanted to look at the valuation. I want to see if the stock price is too expensive. And I chose to look at the forward price to earnings ratio. And looking at this, Home Depot is priced at a forward PE of 18.07, which is just about the average value it has traded for according to this metric in the last year. So it's not prohibitively expensive. If you were interested in buying Home Depot stock for the next decade, you could go ahead and do so. It's not too late. It's not too expensive. Whether or not you can expect to get a similar return over the next 10 years compared to the previous 10 years, I don't know. I don't know about that. But given Home Depot's excellent performance in the prior decade, given its excellent relationship with its consumers and the brand loyalty it has achieved, I don't see very much reason to expect much different from Home Depot in terms of operating performance. That means revenue growth, that means profit growth. Now, I don't know if the stock price will respond the way it has in the last decade, the same way it'll do in the next decade, but I can say with reasonable confidence that if you were to buy Home Depot stock today and hold it for 10 years, you'll probably be able to sell it in 10 years for higher than what you paid for it today. Or in other words, your wealth will increase after buying Home Depot stock today and holding it for 10 years. I'm reasonably confident that will be the case. Now, I'm not certain, and nobody can be certain when they're talking about the future because nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. All we could do as financial analysts is make reasonable forecasts, reasonable expectations, and I believe investing in Home Depot stock today for the next decade is a reasonable, prudent investment to make. All right, I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. So that's all I've got for this video. I truly appreciate your viewership. Thank you for watching. And you see some videos coming up here at the end. I think you'll enjoy those. So please click on one of those and I'll see you over there.